I was editing up my November TBR video, which unfortunately is coming out a little bit later than I wanted. I really wanted it to actually be there like this morning, but yeah. But still, the fact that I said my name in the video, that I'm so happy. I'm so proud of myself. It only took me 3 videos to remember that I needed to actually probably say my name. Going to get the kids. While I wait in the carpool line, I'm going to read some more of Witch and Wizard and hopefully get 3/4 of the way done by tonight, depending on how long it takes to actually finish editing the video and homework and put the video up. I really, really want it to still be up on Tuesday. That's the ultimate goal here. Alright then. Good morning, y'all. Out here trying to get my walk on because jogging yesterday hurt so bad now, and running would be murder, and we're so not up for running for any time in the future. But yeah, just listening to my Secret Society podcast about a very, very weird cult that does adult things, because my kids might watch this video, so we're gonna go with that. The one before, though, was kind of more creepy interesting, because it talked about, all the world leaders that were involved in it and how they were following people. And then I legitimately started jumping at squirrels moving in the bushes. Almost done with this, then home to finish the first book of the readathon and be done with the weighing of the wands. Yes! Normally, I wait a day after I finish one book to start another one, unless it's just left me so upset that I need something else to start to wipe that book from my mind. But since we're on a readathon and a lot of the books are Kindle or physical copies, I should probably go ahead and start the next one today so that I can keep moving on and actually get everything done. Yay. Okie dokie then. Yep, I can breathe. See you later. I just wanted to do a quick check-in of how the Triwizardathon tournament is going. So far this week, I have finished 2 books and am over halfway done with my 3rd book. The first book I finished was for the weighing of the wand portion. I picked the 40-point prompt where a character wields a staff or a wand. And the book I chose for this prompt was Witch or Wizard by James Patterson. It has 307 pages. Our main characters in this book are Wit and Wisty Allgood. At the very beginning of the book, you are seeing a stadium scene full of people. They're not excited people. It's not like a big game or is anything going on, and you're seeing from the perspective of Wisty. Her whole family is up on the stage to be executed, and then she backtracks to tell you how they got there and what is going on. Pretty much, a group called the New Order has taken over the government, and they didn't do like a coup, a takeover like that. No, they literally got themselves elected over time through positions all through the government until they just completely dominated it and instituted New Order guidelines and rules for order and calmness, as they feel that would better suit the world instead of the chaos that our world is now. While it sounds like a nice concept, these people are absolutely nuts. Of course, otherwise they wouldn't be the bad guys in the book. The New Order does not like forms of expression hardly. They don't do art, music, and they really don't seem to like kids, because kids don't follow rules. Kids have outside the box critical thinking. So a lot of kids are sent into reformment hospital work camp things. It doesn't actually get into that too much in this book, but you could see that it's starting to happen. Wit and Wisty, though, are a witch and a wizard, and they have no idea before the New Order breaks into their house in the middle of the night to arrest them, and they are informed of this. Of course, they don't believe it. They think these people are lunatics, until she sets herself on fire accidentally. I don't think that's too much of a spoiler. It happens in the first chapter or 2, and James Patterson chapters are always very short. His writing style is, I want to say unique, because I haven't seen any other author really do short chapters like that. I do enjoy his writing. I've read a lot of his books. The first installment, The Witch and Wizard, follows Wit and Wisty trying to figure out these new abilities that they have been told they have, and as they slowly start to come to terms with the fact that it's true, they are a witch and a wizard, and that's why the New Order wants them to be controlled and or executed. And they're of course trying to get away from the New Order and find their parents again. Their main goal through all of this is to escape and find their parents. But that doesn't exactly go according to plan, as they do find out that the whole world is going much downhill, and they just can't sit by and watch other things happen to kids. So they do become kind of heroes. It was a really fun read, and I will probably continue the series just to see what happens to the rest of their story, because I just can't leave a story hanging unless it's like completely boring. I'm gonna have to continue. So just one more series to add to the list. But yes, I finished this Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. I think it might have been Wednesday morning. I can't completely remember. I already feel behind in the readathon. And it's only day 5. It's a whole month. I shouldn't feel behind. But I do. The pressure! After the weighing of the wands, I get to move on to the first task, where we get to face the dragons. For this challenge, I'm reading 2 books. I'm listening to Skyward by Brandon Sanderson, and I am about halfway finished, maybe a little more than that one. And so far, just like all of the other books I have read by Brandon Sanderson, I'm greatly enjoying it. It's a little hard to be able to put it down sometime to have read my physical book or do something else that I can't listen to an audiobook with. Spence's character is a little complicated. I feel for her, and I overall like her, but her attitude as her defensive mechanism is hard sometimes. But you have to remember, she is just a teenager, so I should cut her some slack when she overreacts and goes into the mode she goes into. Her life has been very hard trying to get into becoming a pilot after what happened in the first events with her father. Her father was an accomplished pilot for their people, which pilot status on her planet is super high, because that is how they hold off their enemy, the Krill, who are trying to annihilate all of humankind on this planet. And over the 3 generations that they've been there, the population has slowly been able to actually come more together than they ever were before. When they first crash landed kind of on this planet, everybody had to spread out into different cavern systems around the area. They couldn't be too congregated in one area, or the enemy would be able to, I guess, pick up that there was people there, because their sensors could show with a bunch of people there that there's people there, and they would attack them. But they have been able to get more of a defense thing up and be able to create the fighter jets. They don't create fighter pilots, they created the fighter jets that could go and battle the enemy and try to create this big military type base that could protect the planet more. It is interesting because they are humans that originally at some point had left out from Earth. They don't really talk about that too much yet, but Sanderson has sprinkled in things that I know are going to come up later, because that's just how his books work. Like the fact that they know that humans were there before them, that there are English language written things that they have found, or human language things that they have found on the planet, but they don't know anything about the humans that were there before them. And it's just interesting. And Mbot, he's good. He's so good. For, an AI that's not supposed to have a personality, he does. He has so much feeling for not having feelings, and he's hilarious. Yep. Moving on. The second book that I picked for the first task was for the 40-point prompt. A character has to find an item or items. I thought that Wicked Charms by Janet Ivanovich and Mr. Sutton was perfect for this. This is the Lizzie and Diesel series, book 3. In this series, Lizzie is a baker in Salem, Massachusetts, and one day this crazy guy whooshes into her life, tells her that she has a very special talent and he needs her help. And Lizzie has two special talents. She can make magical cupcakes, which really helps out in this one. And two, she is one of only two special ability people in the world who can find the 7 stones. In this book, the duo is going after the Arborist stone. They're also competing against Diesel's semi-evil cousin, who has been after the stones in every book, right alongside the two of them, as well as the other person who can sense the stones, who believes that he is a medieval squire. He's quite interesting. And adorable in kind of a sad way, if he wasn't so crazy. All 4 of them are also trying to find the stone and the clues to the stone before a semi-crazy evil billionaire can find it first. He believes he is carrying an incarnation of the Prince of Hell demon Mammon inside of him, and that receiving the Arbor Stone is the last piece to be able to awaken Mammon to rule the world. So yeah, there's a bunch of crazies following them through the whole book, but they are super polite. Like his assistant butler always seems to feel kind of bad that he has to intrude into Lizzie's life. He's always very polite. It was quite different for a bad guy, I must say. I really enjoyed the book, though. It's fun, goofy, fluff ride the whole way through, and I will continue to read her books because, yeah, I love the fluff and the slight tensiony romance that isn't a romance because they can't be romantic towards each other because bad things would happen to their special abilities. I can't say more than that, but it is a good book. You should definitely check it out if you're looking for something light, fluff, fun, or maybe the first book, which is Wicked Business is the first book in this series. It really introduces you to them, and it is magical. That's all I've got for now. I will be finishing Skyward either tonight or tomorrow to finish up the first task, and then I can go on to the Yule Ball. So I also need to be going to my library, and I will be so happy to keep continuing this readathon, and I've enjoyed seeing how other people are posting up for their readathon stuff on Instagram. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!